Good day, my name is Nasime Martinez Alamada and my topic is about cell division. The ability to reproduce is one trait that sets living organisms apart from non-living matter. The flow of life is based on cell division or the reproduction of cells. Cell division can play a different role in different organisms. For example, when a prokaryotic cell generally divides, it has completely reproduced because it gives rise to a new organism. However, in multicellular eukaryotes, mitotic cell division is mostly used for growth and replacement or repair of injured cells. Most cell division results in genetically identical daughter cells. First, a dividing cell replicates its DNA. Then, after a variety of steps, the cell divides via mitosis and meiosis. So, ang unang characteristics na nagde-define sa mga living organisms from non-living things ay yung capability or kakayahan ng mga living things na mag-reproduce. So, yung mitosis cell division ay usually used for growth and replacement ng mga injured cells. Mostly yung cell division process ay nagre-result ng genetically identical daughter cells. Then, after a variety of steps or process, yung cell ay nagde-divide via mitosis and meiosis. To allow growth and repair of the human body, older senescent cells need to be removed and replaced with younger and more efficient ones. The heart of this process is cell division, which is essential not only for maintaining the physical body but also for ensuring gene inheritance and genetic diversity. So, para tuloy-tuloy yung growth ng isang individual and yung mga dead skin cells ay kailangan ding mapalitan ng mga bagong skin tissue. So, yung process din dito ay yung cell division. So, cell division is very essential not only in maintaining our physical body but also to ensure our gene inheritance and genetic diversity. Yung older senescent cells pala, yun na yung mga cells na matanda na and nag-stop na sila mag-divide. So, as the cells age, they can accumulate damage and become senescent. These cells can also contribute to age-related diseases and inflammation. That's why older senescent cells need to be removed and replaced with younger ones. Kasi if hindi napalitan yung senescent cells, it can cause harm not only in our physical body but most especially sa internal. So the human body's tissue and organs are always changing because of aging cells are always being replaced by new ones, causing them to become unstable. So through the process of cell division known as mitosis, a diploid parent cell divides into two identical diploid daughter cells producing these new cells. In contrast, meiosis is a process that only takes place in germinal cells, results in the production of distinct haploid daughter cells. Meiosis shuffles our deck of genes to ensure genetic variety.
Cell division. Cell division is a biological process by which a parent cell duplicates its cell contents and divides to give rise to two or more daughter cells. So, ang cell division ay isang process, biological process na kung saan yung parent cell ay nagduduplicate at nagde-divide ng kanyang mga cell contents to give rise to two or more daughter cells. So, every day, every hour, and every minute, yung cell within our body ay nagde-divide. So, why do cells divide? The cells need to divide in order for your body to grow and for the body tissue such as skin to continuously renew itself. So, in order for organisms to grow, the body cells either have to increase their size or divide, and yung isa pang reason kung bakit nagde-divide yung cell in the organism's body ay para mapalitan or ma-renew yung mga dead skin tissues. So, in human bodies, nearly 2 trillion cell divides every day. So, how do cells know when to divide? So, paano nga ba malalaman ng mga cells kung kailan sila magde-divide? Cells regulate their division by communicating with each other using chemical signals from special proteins called cyclins. These signals act like switches to tell cells when to start dividing and later when to stop dividing. So, with the use of chemical signals from special proteins, nagkakaroon ng communication between the cells for them to regulate their division. So, itong chemical signal na to from special protein ay tinatawag na cyclins. So, ano nga ba yung cyclins? Cyclins is a family of proteins that controls the progression of a cell through the cell cycle. So, itong si cyclins ay nag-act like switches to tell cells kung kailan magsisimula at kung kailan siya magsa-stop sa pagde-divide. So, ayun, 'di ba sabi ko kanina, even minute nagde-divide yung cell. So, bakit niya kailangan mag-stop kung every minute ay nagde-divide siya? So, it is because kapag hindi nakastop yung cell sa pag-divide when it's supposed to stop, pwede siyang mag-lead into disease na cancer, which can harm the organism's body and most especially yung health natin. So, now let us proceed to the types of cell division. Depending on the type of cell, there are two ways or process cells divide such as the mitosis and meiosis. So there are two distinct types of cell division, out of which the first one is vegetative division, wherein each daughter cell duplicates the parent cell and it is called mitosis. And the second is meiosis, which divides into 4 haploid daughter cells. So before we proceed to the types of cell division, let me first explain to you what is interphase. So interphase. Most body cells are in interphase, a stable state between stages of cell division, rather than an active state of division at any given time. During this phase, cells are developing, maturing, and performing their regular physiological tasks. So according to Cooper and Hussman in 2015, interphase occurs in human cells for around 95% of their life. So dahil present si chromatin, a cell's nucleus appears granular during interphase. The nuclear envelope has no discernible chromosomes, and the deoxyribonucleic acid or the DNA is organized somewhat loosely. So DNA replication occurs shortly before cell division. This ensures that the genetic blueprint or genome may be passed onto the daughter cells in the future in an identical duplicate. So, yung pinakamahaba or yung pinakamatagal na phase ng eukaryotic cell ay yung interphase. So, during this stage, the cell makes and uses proteins and other molecules to obtain nutrition and initiate cell division by reproducing DNA. So, yung interphase ay merong 3 separate steps such as the GAP1, synthesis, and GAP2. So, lahat ng cell types ay dumadaan muna sa stage ng interphase para maging ready na sa process ng cell division. So, yung action ng cell during the interphase ay magkakaiba. Depende sa kung anong organism yung magde-divide. Kagaya ng neurons. So, neurons go into the resting phase during interphase. So, imbis na i-replicate yung DNA nila, nagsistay na lang doon sa resting phase yung neurons without proliferating hanggang sa mamatay yung cell na yun, which is yung neurons. So, yung mga ibang cells naman, kagaya ng skin cells, ay palaging nagde-divide. Kailangan nilang mag-undergo sa interphase muna para mag-gather yung mga materials na kakailanganin nila para makabuild ng panibagong cell at copy ng DNA. So, yung skin cells, yun na yung firm surface na nagpo-protect sa katawan natin. So, namamatay sila dahil sa mga special proteins that help the cells stick together. Now, let's proceed to the stages of interphase. So, interphase is composed of 3 stages or phases, which is the GAP1, synthesis, and the GAP2. So, in the GAP1, after the cells have finished splitting their chromosomes and the cell membrane has been broken by cytokinesis, the 2 new cells enter GAP1, sometimes referred to as G1, the first stage of interphase. Throughout this phase, the cell grows larger and performs its normal functions. So, the cell replicates its organelles when necessary. As previously discussed, cells can occasionally transition from the G1 to G0 phase or the resting phase as seen in this slide. So if the cell is actively dividing, it will enter the next phase of synthesis after going through interphase. So the next phase is the synthesis. So the cell stops working normally while synthesis is taking place. DNA replication is the exclusive focus of available resources. Initial steps in this process involve different proteins unzipping the two intertwined DNA strands. So yung mga fresh strands, pinoform sila to connect with each half of the DNA by other proteins na tinatawag na polymerase enzymes. By copying this chromosome exactly and binding them to form sister chromatids, this is done to each chromosome. As sister chromatids split apart during mitosis, yung somatic cell ay nagpo-produce ng two identical copies ng genome in each cell. So after interphase, the cell will start meiosis division kapag yung cell ay magiging gamete or sex cells. Meiosis results in having just half of a complete genome when homologous chromosomes split in one division and sister chromatids in the subsequent division. So after with the different gametes, yung mga cell na yun ay mag-enter na sa interphase pero hindi sila makakapag-proceed sa stage ng synthesis. However, the cell needs to get ready for cell division after synthesis. So, the third step or the third stage of interphase is the gap2 or G2. So, pagkatapos ma-replicate ng DNA during synthesis stage, yung cell ay mag-enter na sa second gap stage which is si gap2 na. So, the cell duplicates several significant organelles and increases the amount of the cytoplasm in the G2 phase. Sa animals, para ma-provide yung mga enough energy para sa dividing cell nila, mitochondria are duplicated. Sa plant cell naman, in order to give the daughter cells organelles na kayang mag-generate ng energy, both the mitochondria and the chloroplast need to duplicate. So the G2 phase continues until cell division that is being shown dito sa slide. So, makikita dito sa picture, dito sa letter M. So, the process begins anew as the cell splits during mitosis and to complete the cycle and enter interphase. Yung gamete or yung mga sex cells must be fertilized with additional DNA if the cells divides via meiosis.